9 months ago when we last left off, the game looked like this. Now it looks like this. Right, so basically what I'm going to do today is just give you a little bit of an update to how my game is going. Basically going over the movements, the combats, and also the upgrades that you can get in the game. Let's take a look. First off, we have movement. So with the movement, I'm really happy with how smooth it's looking. Took me a while to get this though. It's pretty cool. Aside from your basic movement, you have the ability to just dash around the stage like this, you know, no iframes. And the reason for that is that I wanted to have precision basically be like a key component of like moving around in the game. So yes, you can move around, it's pretty fast paced, but you can't just be dashing around. The bullets are on the screen, you're gonna dash with a purpose. And then next up we have combat. So combat can basically be divided into two categories. You have your ranged combat and you have your melee combat. Let's start off with the ranged combat first. So with the ranged combat, you have your primary weapon, which is a single shot blaster, name pending. Basically, decent rate of fire, gets the job done, 10 shots in the chamber, so on and so forth. Pretty simple. Then you've got your secondary weapon. Right now, I'm currently looking to have about 5 secondary weapons that you can choose from in the start of your run. Right now, what you're seeing is the footage of the shotgun in play. And basically, you just switch between the two weapons using the scroll wheel, primary, shotgun. Pretty simple. And you'll also notice with the range combat, like I said previously, with the single shot blaster, you've got about 10 shots in the chamber, and with the shotgun, you've got about 15. And the reason for this is that even though technically you have infinite ammo, you still need to reload. There's a purpose to this mechanic, right? I'm just not adding reloading for the sake of reloading, because every game with a gun needs you to reload it. No. There is a purpose. The first purpose is that I just don't want you to hold left click when you're going through the game, because that's going to be pretty boring. And secondly, you have the option to perform what I like to call a perfect reload. So the perfect reload is pretty cool because it gives you the opportunity to buff your next shot, right? So how it works is like this, right? So when you're reloading, you notice that you have this bar right above your Nephilim, which is the character that you're using, that goes from the left to the right, indicating how much time is left for you until you reload and you can start shooting again. And you'll also notice that there's like a vertical bar in between the bar, if I'm describing it properly. And the way the perfect reload works is that once you see that this bar is going, if you like line up your progress bar with that vertical bar like perfectly, you've executed the perfect reload. And what this means is that your next shot, depending on which weapon you reloaded, will deal double damage, a bit of a double dosage, so to speak. However, if you fuck the timing, your reload progress is reset and the weapon takes twice as long to reload. So you really don't want to mess this up with the shotgun, because it takes really long to reload the shotgun in the first place. So just be careful with that. And then there's also the melee combat to the game, right? And I just wanted to add this because it looks cool. I think it looks cool, it feels cool to use, and it just adds a bit of variety to the combat as well. It's not just shooting, you can use your melee ability. And this melee ability, I call it needle mode, right? And what needle mode is, once you activate needle mode with your right click, you're able to just cut through your enemies like butter. It is so cool. So wherever you click, you dash to that, and whatever in your path just gets hit with damage. And the cool thing is that damage scales with each consecutive hit that you do. So you should chain your attacks wisely. However, you are not invulnerable to bullets in this stage. So if like an enemy shot a bullet and you dash over there and you just so happen to stop where that bullet lines up, you are going to get hit by this bullet. So if the whole screen is a mess, you gotta think about if using needle mode right now is the best use of your time and your health bar. Originally, like needle mode, I was gonna make it so that you could be in this mode forever, so you could choose either you're in range mode or you're in melee mode, and these modes last forever depending on which one you choose. However, I saw that depending on the level, it's very easy to clear the levels with needle mode activated. So I made it so you can see in the bottom left of the screen, you have this bar that decreases every time you use needle mode, right? So you can only be in this mode for a few seconds at a time, since it's super OP. Lastly, we can talk about upgrades. Upgrades are pretty cool because since this is a roguelike game, every time you clear a stack, you're given the option to get a upgrade, upgrading certain aspects of your Nephilim. These aspects include, but are not limited to, upgrading your max health, upgrading the damage that your primary and secondary weapons do, upgrading the damage that your needle time does, upgrading the max time of the needle time mode, you know, that kind of thing. And I like this because once you clear the stack, you are given the option to choose one of 3 upgrades. So I'll give you an option here. Here's 3 upgrades you can choose from, pick one, and this will last throughout your run, right? But like I said, since this is a roguelite, if you die, all that shit gets wiped out and you gotta run it again. So hey, don't die, you know? It's just a bit of word of advice from me. And yeah, as it stands, I'm really happy with the progress that I've made so far. Diabolus 4.4 is looking pretty good. It's looking pretty good. Currently right now, I'm working on the boss fight. It's a little bit stale since the boss just stays in one place, which makes sense thematically for what I'm going for, but it's still a bit too boring, so I gotta spice it up a little bit. And another cool thing is that the guy, the beautiful man that has made the outro music for this channel since this channel's inception, even the first channel that I made, he's going to be making the soundtrack for this game, which is pretty cool. So please, I implore you, subscribe to my Patreon so I can throw more schmeckles at him, because good God, this soundtrack is gonna fuck. So until next time, take care of yourself, boys and girls, because we're all doing the best that we can, darling. Never grow up, and I will love you.